Perry McMahon with UKFightSite.com. I'm down here at the MMA Clinic in Angel with Shane O'Neill. Shane, congratulations on the win on Saturday. It was a big title win. Now the dust has settled, how do you feel about your performance and the fight in general?
I am very critical of myself always with performances. Like in my head, the idea, I think the idea or the way that I like to perform and the way that I do perform, I'll never reach my my goal for myself, I suppose. But it's like, yeah, I'm looking back at it now and just happy I got to win. I knew going into the fight that the guy I was fighting, Janice, was a tough opponent who was going to be there to fight. And typically I like to fight and I like to brawl, but I worked, particularly in this camp, worked on like not getting involved in a brawl and not getting involved in an elbow war and that. So I worked on just the scoring system and trying to show my skill and be a smarter fighter. And that kept, even in the fight, I kept that in my head, you know, don't get involved. Obviously it didn't go to plan totally, but I was happy that I kept the scoring in my head for a change rather than looking at it as a fight, I suppose. I think I showed how much I've grown, and I've done a lot of work with a lot of guys in London. I'm very lucky that I have access to a lot of very, very high level fighters and coaches, and I use that as much as I can, and they're very good to me. Guys like Greg Wotton, Saleh Khalifa, Liam Nolan, obviously here I have Chris Carley, Steve Priestley, Darren O'Gorman. I have loads of top class fighters to work with. Darren Stewart, and you know, I work with such a wide range of fighters at different weights and different backgrounds, and I try take little bits from all their games and add it to mine, and I think I showed that in this camp. Again, the performance I'm not entirely happy with, it never will be, but look, I got the win and I kept that in my head this camp. Don't try think about entertaining the crowd too much and just being a brawler. Show that I can win on points and be a scoring, like kind of tactical fighter, and that's what I feel like I did, so I'm happy with it. Yeah.
When did the cut happen during the fight?
It was the last round. I actually remember going into the last round. I remember, like, I kind of knew the first two rounds I wasn't very awake, and I think in Thai scoring you have to do something quite significant in the first two rounds to get really given the round, especially in the first round. Usually it's 10-10, and I kind of knew that I was edging the fight. I felt like I pushed in 3 and 4, so in my head going into the last round I thought it'd be nice now to give him an elbow and maybe get involved a bit more, and I tried land 1 or 2, and I think maybe he stole my idea, and I just lacked concentration. It was towards the very end, maybe the last minute and a half, he just caught me with an elbow as I stepped in, and I felt it straight away. I've been very lucky in my career with cuts and stuff. I've only ever had 2 or 3, and I've given a lot, so it's karma, I suppose. Look, when you play with what's it, live by the sword, die by the sword thing. So
I saw the actual promotion uploaded a picture today with you mugging for the camera. Have you seen that yet?
I've seen that.
Great picture.
That's Natalia. She's a great photographer, and I always have quite good relationship with her. Like, I always try to say it to her the day before when I see her, like, you know, keep an eye out for the elbows and stuff like that. And I always expect it to be me giving them, but look, you have to, like I said, it's the yin and yang of it. You know, you're in a sport that it can happen, or you can, you know. So I just tried to embrace as much as I could and just have a bit of fun with it. It was nice to have a bit of blood streaming down my face and look like a proper fighter.
We got some good pictures of that.
Yeah, you did. Thank you for that as well. I appreciate it.
You mentioned like trying not to get too wrapped up in the crowd. Your support that you brought along was one of the loudest of the night. How many people did you bring, and where were they coming from?
Okay, like, I have a lot of fans. I'm very lucky. Like, I have really good support always. Like, and there was about 25 came from Ireland. A lot of my family. Like, I'm blessed to have such good support from my family and such backing. And then the gym here, the MMA Clinic. A lot of the people I train come. And then I think through me, this is my 4th time in the Muay Thai Grand Prix, and I always pride myself in trying to be an entertaining fighter, and I really do. Like, I really feel bad if I don't bring like money's worth to the crowd. So I've met a lot of people now who, like, through other fighters that come to the show, have said, "Oh, Shane, we like watching you fight and stuff." And I think people just enjoy watching me fight. And when I was getting my name called, honestly, it was electrifying. Like, it was mental, you know. And just so I think there's a mix of like my own family and friends, and then people from the gym, and then people who come support other people that kind of jumped on and enjoy watching me fight, and I appreciate it all. It's very humbling and very nice to hear when you're in the ring after all the hard work you put in, the weeks of training and stuff, to know that people appreciate you. You know, it's very nice.
That's it. You mentioned you had a lot of support with different coaches and training partners. Where did most of your training go for this fight? it was more based in the MMA clinic, or what other gyms did you visit?
The bulk of my training is always here, and Chris Carley's my head coach, Steve Priestley, one of my main padmen, so a lot of my training is here. We have fixed sessions every week that I train with Darren O'Gorman, Darren Stewart, spar with other people, Brad and those guys from Norwich come down, that's like fixed every week. Then I have a regular session with Greg Wotton, like every week I train with Greg, and either I come to him or he comes to me, and like he's been a massive help to me, not just technically, but like in the mindset of sport and stuff like that. He's a really knowledgeable and really interesting guy, and I think he has a lot to share. He's quite humble, but he's a lot to share, and he's obviously anyone who's involved in the sport knows that he's had some of the biggest wins in my viewpoint. He's one of the best guys of the generation from the UK, beat Petra Bunchu and had a good fight with Pacorn, etc. And then I have Saleh Khalifa is another very big help. He comes to me, he's a firefighter and he works night shifts and stuff, and he comes and trains with me once a week for this camp, because he had previously fought my opponent, so he had a big input, and he was kept reassuring me. Like, he knew the guy I fought was tough, and went 5 rounds with Saleh, and I think Saleh just reassured me that I had the beatings of him, that I was looking sharp. Liam Nolan's another like UK number 1 at 70 kilo. He's based in Urban Kings, and I have a connection with them through a guy Josh Palmer that I knew. So again, I'm very lucky that in London, Team Chew, I went to Team Chew once a week sparring.
Okay.
There's so many guys that I just feel lucky that, because I do try go anywhere I go, I try to be very friendly and I try to be respectful, and I think people are very appreciative of that, and they welcome me to the gym, and I try to use, because London's such a hub, there's so many brilliant athletes here, whether it be in MMA or Thai boxing, there's other coaches in this gym. You got to keep naming guys all day, but the bulk of my training is definitely done in the MMA clinic. The bulk of it. I do go other places to get inputs from like Team Chew sparring on a Thursday. I was going there, and Phil Chew invites me down, and I thank him for that. Greg Wotton Salah. So yeah, I'm kind of an all-rounder. I try to run around and take nuggets of information from everywhere and bring it back.
Yeah, brilliant. What's next for you?
That's a good question. I don't know. I never really, like, when I first started the sport, I started when I was 13, so it's like 13 years on now, and I'm European champion, and it's a really big achievement for me. I was Irish champion. When I won the Irish title, I thought, I never saw myself as being an Irish champion, and when I got there I was like, well, I'm an Irish champion now. It was like, then it kind of like from there I was like, oh, I could do something else. And then I won the Four Nations title 3 years ago, and that was like, whoa, I won the Four Nations title. And then again things move on. I'm 27 next week, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, like, the world title is a possibility, and I'm doing a lot of coaching at the moment, and I'm just very happy with achieving this, and I'm going to sit with it now a few weeks. Obviously I can't really compete. I was hoping to compete in December in Prague. I had a fight lined up there, but with the cut now I can't do that, so I'm just going to sit back and going to chat to my girlfriend Rachel, going to chat to other people who are close to me, and see what's best for me, because other stuff's coming into play now in life, there's not just fighting as part of what I do, and it's one of the biggest things I've done up to this point, but yeah, there's other things I need to take into consideration, so we'll see what happens.
The promotion announced that they're going to be back in the Indigo in April for the next London card. Would that be something that would interest you?
Oh yeah, possibly. I never say no. I'm not going to say I'm not fighting or not going to do any shows, like whatever. Like, I'm a fighter through and through. I've always been. That's the best kind of, or the biggest thing about me. One of my biggest attributes that I like to say about myself is that I am a fighter, and I find it very hard. I've jumped into fights, always in my career, like 2 weeks notice, or like, I find it very hard to say no to a fight. So we'll see. Like, the Indigo is, every fight I've had this year has been in Indigo on the Muay Thai Grand Prix. It's a fantastic promotion. They look after the fighters very well. The exposure you get from the Muay Thai Grand Prix is better than any Thai boxing promotion I've been on, to be honest. And yeah, so you never know. You could see me back. Could see me back fighting for a world title soon. You never know.
That'd be great. Rhi Rhi Hudson, she got a big win. She got a big win on the card. What did you think of her performance? Did you get a chance to watch it properly?
I didn't, unfortunately, because I was on a bit later on the card, and obviously the show opens very early. But I've seen Rhi Rhi training numerous from the first time I came to the clinic, and I saw Rhi Rhi train. I knew that she was something special. She has a very good attitude towards training. She's a very good mentality, and she's just skill-wise, she's talented, naturally. So she's going to make it very fair in the sport. I'm going to look back in the fight when I get the chance, and I'm sure she'll do very well. But she's someone to look out for, I think, and everyone should listen to the name. You're going to see her in MMA or Thai boxing, whatever road she decides to go down. She can be a champion at it, definitely.
Brad Wheeler's back in action tomorrow at Cage Warriors 99. Are you going to be down there?
Yeah, I'm going to be down there, yeah. So I'm doing some stuff with Eyes of Sport.
Yeah.
Eyes of Sport, one of my sponsors in the company. I'm doing some work with at the moment. CBD performance for athletes. If anyone's looking for some stuff, get on to London Fight Store for that. But Brad's always, again, I've known Brad because like through the years that the MMA Clinic has had a connection with Cork before I ever came here. I knew of Brad Wheeler, the crazy kid, and always, again, a guy who when you watch him, you're getting a fight, you're getting a fight. So tomorrow I think he's at a point in his career now where he's trying to push on and maybe look for a Cage Warriors title and maybe something bigger, UFC, whatever. And then tomorrow's a big fight for him, but I know he's trained hard, I know he's put in the effort, and I wish him the best of luck. I'm going to be there cheering his name, screaming,
Yeah, brilliant. I'll see you down there. Before we go, let's get the belt on camera. You brought it along.
I did. I'm bringing it everywhere. It's been around with me for the last week.
You're going to keep that with you from now on, yeah?
Forever, man, forever. Yeah.
Brilliant. Shane, thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you, man.